Good evening to you and welcome to Sunday Express. I hope you're enjoying the remaining bit of your Easter, even though the weatherman says that it will be a wet one, of course, moving in towards the mid of next week. And we hope, of course, that you're keeping yourself safe. Welcome to Sunday Express. Here are tonight's highlights.
Niliwaeleza wakati huo, msipopitisha hiyo sheria, mimi nitaweka veto ya hiyo sheria mpaka nipitishe sheria ambayo itakomesha ufisadi katika taifa letu la Kenya.
President William Ruto tells Parliament to boost war on graft by sealing loopholes in the conflict of interest bill. Christians celebrate the resurrection of Jesus amid calls to shun tribal politics to forge national unity. And 2 people killed by wild animals in Nairobi and Nyeri. Byron Abuli is our sign language interpreter. My name is John Jacob Kioria. You're very much welcome to the broadcast. And just a reminder, in our Sunday Express conversation, we'll be looking at the beauty industry being the next frontier for the youth when it comes to empowerment and all that. And our guest tonight is Dr. Joyce Gikunda, the co-founder and director at Linton's Academy, who is already with us in studio. We'll be talking to her in a bit. But for now, let's inform you what has been happening across the country. And Kenyans have been called upon to be ambassadors of peace and to emulate the teachings of Christ to promote unity in the country, steering clear of tribal divisions often fueled by politicians. This was the clarion call by the clergy during Easter Sunday. Additionally, citizens were encouraged to show compassion by supporting the sick, the needy, and the poor during this season.
As Christians marked Easter, Nairobi was no exception. Same story, different script. At the Holy Family Minor Basilica in Nairobi, faithful gathered to commemorate a significant day in the Christian calendar. Worshippers reflected on the meaning of Easter, drawing from biblical teachings that underscore the significance of the season.
Hii kitu imekuwa ya muhimu sana. Tumesali siku 40 tukitembea na Yesu mfufuka. Ya maana yenye tumekuta ni tumefundishwa kwa nini ilikuwa lazima afufuke.
On Good Friday Jesus died and today he has resurrected, and so that means it's the beginning of something new.
Tuna imani kubwa ili Pasaka ingine ikija hata wakongomani washerekee na furaha na amani.
Speaking after leading the Easter Sunday Mass, Bishop Simon Kamomoe emphasized that everyone should strive to be an instrument of peace and not be incited by politicians.
All Kenyans, we should avoid this issue of tribalism.
He stressed the importance of peace, love and unity, urging leaders to prioritize the welfare of the people over personal interests.
Our leaders, they should be ready to be sacrificed. Rather, they should all the time pursue what is good and what is true for the good of the Kenyans.
Ninaomba pia serikali yetu isitumie nguvu sana kama sisi wanarika, watusikie kwa wito wetu ambao tunahitaji.
And today is a greater day. Let Jesus resurrect in our hearts.
Meanwhile, at the All Saints Cathedral, clergy centered their sermons on the resurrection of Christ highlighting it as the cornerstone of Christianity and a reaffirmation of the believer's faith.
Our faith as believers crumbles if Christ never was raised from the dead. And therefore, the fact is, Jesus was raised from the dead. And that gives power to our faith. It grants pillars to our faith to be sustained.
Easter Sunday marks a special day to Christians all over the world to come together, celebrate and reflect. Whether you're gathered around a table, attending a service, or spending time with your loved ones, I hope this Easter brings you peace, joy, and a renewed sense of purpose. For Sunday Express, I'm Christine Matunda.
Of course, we wish you're enjoying the Easter festivities and, of course, remembering the cause for the season. In the meantime, the Archbishop Martin Kivuva of the Catholic Diocese of Mombasa has issued a strong appeal to the government to borrow responsibly. In his Easter message, Archbishop Kivuva urged the government to ensure that the debt ceiling is not exceeded to avert overburdening the already strained taxpayers.
Archbishop Martin Kivuva says the government of the day must do everything to ensure it does not overburden the next.
Mkenya mwingi anauliza, je, hela zile anazozituletea zinafanya kazi iliyopangiwa na mtengo wa hela za Kenya, na kama zipo zinaenda wapi? Nafikiri Mkenya ana wasiwasi tu kwa sababu deni letu na nchi nyinginezo nje ya Kenya, deni, what we call the national debt, inasemekana imepita kipimo.
He further reiterated his calls for political tolerance amid the resurgence of political violence threatening the country's fragile unity.
Vijana nanyi, tunawakumbusha juzi na tunawakumbusha tena na tena, tusikubali kutumiwa vibaya.
Meanwhile, a section of the clergy in Narok County led by African Independent Pentecostal Church of Africa, Bishop Dixon Olenkoitiko, has voiced strong support for the current administration, this while calling for sobriety and tone down of social media attacks directed to the presidency. In the Western region, church leaders underscored the importance of maintaining unity and peace to achieve development. They defended church donations as support for spiritual and community development.
You cannot say that tuna pesa ile iko holy na ile iko mbaya. Any money that you get, you need to receive and go ahead.
And a section of vulnerable groups in Migori County received food donations, bringing them much-needed relief and hope during this festive season, courtesy of a collaboration between the county government and local churches.
This county government is committed to ensuring that we uplift in whatever small way.
Doreen Arange for Sunday Express.
To some sad story here, the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, has confirmed 2 tragic human-wildlife conflict incidents that have resulted in the death of 2 people. The first incident occurred on Saturday evening in a ranch on the southern border of Nairobi National Park, where a 14-year-old girl, a grade 7 pupil at a local primary school, was attacked and killed by a lioness. In a separate incident, KWS also received a report on Friday evening of a fatal elephant attack in Nyeri County, where a 54-year-old man was attacked by an elephant while grazing in Mere Forest. The victim, who sustained serious chest injuries, fractured ribs and internal trauma, died while receiving treatment at the Karatina Sub-County Hospital. KWS has pledged to work closely with local law enforcement agencies and communities to enhance the safety of people living near protected wildlife areas. Time for us now to take our first breather right here on Sunday Express, but just a reminder that after a few stories we'll get into a conversation, Sunday Express conversation, and the conversation really is on the beauty industry being the next frontier for the youth. Dr. Joyce Gikunda is a co-founder and director, Linton's Academy, and indeed our guest tonight. Don't go too far.
kupitia star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this beautiful Mazda Demio. Enjoy a beautiful, clean, semi-leather interior, low mileage, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business. Ukitaka kujishindia gari hii, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option 3. And for only 35 shillings, hii gari inaweza kuwa yako. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa, because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Mungu ni mwema, asante Mungu. Ile nitakuwa naendesha hivi.
Dial star 570 hash and make this dream car yours.
Cheza Loto Moto.
She was the brightest star of the circus until one day. She fell to earth.
Keep away from me! You've got fleas!
What are you talking about? Hey, she noticed us. Sweet.
Who taught her about bravery.
Karate! You want some of me?
And start working together.
The only way we're gonna beat them is as a team.
You two go ahead and beat them. I think I'll just escape.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sunday Express. President William Ruto has urged Parliament to consider his memorandum on the Conflict of Interest Bill, which he has referred back to the Assembly to help curb corruption. Speaking in Narok County, the President said that he did not assent to the bill because it did not meet the standards demanded by Kenyans. This as county and Maa community leaders, led by their governors, assured the President of their support for the re-election or for his re-election in the 2027 polls.
President William Ruto was attending an interdenominational Easter Sunday service held at Ntulele High School in Narok East, where he reiterated that the Conflict of Interest Bill must be strengthened to effectively prevent public servants from using their positions and offices for personal benefit instead of Kenyans.
Na niliahidi bunge wakati huo ya kwamba wasipopitisha sheria ambayo inalingana na vile tulikubaliana na Wakenya, sheria ambayo itakomesha mambo ya ufisadi na mambo ya ubinafsi na mambo ya watu kutumia ofisi za serikali kujinufaisha wao wenyewe, familia zao na marafiki zao. Niliwaeleza wakati huo, msipopitisha hiyo sheria, mimi nitaweka vito ya hiyo sheria mpaka nipitishe sheria ambayo itakomesha ufisadi katika taifa letu la Kenya.
The President told Parliament to consider the bill within 3 weeks in accordance to his recommendations to enhance accountability, integrity and anti-graft measures. On the same breath, the President added that the rolled-out e-procurement system would ensure competitive supply of goods and services to the government.
I made 2 commitments. I said, number 1, all procurement beginning April this year are going to be undertaken on an e-platform. We are going to have e-procurement so that there is transparency in the procurement.
On the row between counties and members of Parliament over the management of roads funds, President Ruto urged them to dialogue but allow the national government to manage the funds for maximum utilization and impact. Maa leaders accompanying the President rallied their people to back the Kenya Kwanza administration for development.
Your Excellency, hii jamii huwa si watu wanapenda kukaa kando na serikali. Generally ni jamii yenye inapenda kukaa kwa serikali.
Na unaona kama Kalonzo anakimbia huko, anasema Wakamba wake 1.4, hata sisi wa Masai tutaenda mpaka kutoka Marsabit mpaka Kajiado na tutakuwa na hiyo 1.4 na tutasupport William Ruto na Raila Amolo Odinga.
Sisi kama jamii ya Wamasai tumesema tutakuwa na wewe mwaka hii 10 ambayo Mungu amekupea
kumalisha kama sisi wengine wote ambao tutamaliza.
Gishuki Washira, Sunday Express.
Away from politics now, the Kenya Meteorological Department has warned of showers and thunderstorms in most parts of the country, with the rains expected mostly in the evenings. As the heavy rains continue to pound, locals living close to stormwater valleys and riverbanks in the county of Isiolo have been urged to relocate to safer grounds to avert for the loss of lives and property. Isiolo County Government, in collaboration with the national agencies and humanitarian partners, has pledged swift action to support affected communities and prevent further tragedies.
Following the heavy rains that continue to wreak havoc in some areas of Isiolo County, authorities have sounded an alarm urging locals living near stormwater valleys and riverbanks to move to higher grounds. They also cautioned against any attempt to cross swollen rivers and floodwaters.
Wale wanavuka barabara, lazima tukue makini. Magari zinabebwa, watu wanabebwa, so tukue makini. Mvua ikinyesha, tusonge paka hiyo mvua, kaa kando paka hiyo mvua irudi chini.
This comes at a time when a vehicle belonging to Oldonyiro Member of County Assembly David Lemantile was swept away at the KMC Bridge on Friday night, with 3 occupants on board. The floods have also displaced hundreds of families and damaged property in Isiolo town. The affected members of public in Sokom Jinga and Safi estates have pleaded for assistance in rebuilding their livelihoods.
Watu wote more than 200 families sote zimeathirika. So ningeomba msaada wa dharura, mandawa, blankets, chakula na hata pia vitu nyingi ambayo kwa sababu nakumbuka next week watoto wanarudi shule. Hawa ni walala hoi. Hivyo sikiao kidogo kidogo niliweza kufahamiwa.
Wenye walisema watasaidia asila, sasa wako na shida, tunawahitaji wakuja na misaada yao watusaidie, watuboost ndio tuweze kuendelesha biashara zetu kama normal.
Isiolo County officials, while assessing the extent of damage caused by the floods in the worst hit areas of Sokom Jinga and Safi Estate, pledged swift action to support affected communities and avert more deaths.
Tutakaa na watu wa Red Cross na serikali kuu tuhakikishe ya kwamba wale wameathirika wamesaidika. Kama ni mambo ya chakula, kama ni mambo ya net, kama ni wale wa saloon, wale walikuwa affected, manyumba zile zimebomoka, governor ataangalia.
The Kenya Meteorological Department has warned of showers and thunderstorms in most parts of the country expected in the evenings. Martini Maslin for Sunday Express.
The government has resorted to regular youth consultative meetings as a proactive strategy to communicate its programs to the young people. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, Dr. Raymond Domolo, says the move seeks to enhance the participation of young Kenyans in the country's governance to avert similar events witnessed last year when the Gen Z orchestrated protests against the Finance Bill 2024 hit the country, as Weekly for Catch reports.
P.S. Omolo, who addressed the press after a meeting with the youth drawn from the 35 wards in Kisumu County, acknowledged that failure to rope young people in the affairs of governance of the country is among the causes of youth agitation against the reigning regime. Going forward, Omolo said the government will be holding regular meetings with the youth across the country to pick their views on various administrative facets.
And more broadly, just the need for constant conversations and engagements on issues so that then we don't have to wait until things get out of hand before we have conversations to try and address those issues.
Harnessing the digital economy to counter unemployment in the country is among the array of issues that Omolo discussed with the young people from the Lakeside Kisumu County.
We've also talked about the mentorship programs that we must point the youth to. They are not just the leaders of tomorrow, because that tomorrow will depend on what happens today.
P.S. Omolo also used the opportunity to caution the youth against violent political players taking advantage of unemployed Kenyan youth to cause mayhem.
Let's have serious conversations. If someone is telling you to go beat someone or to go touch someone's house, you must be asking yourselves very difficult questions. To what end? Is it too bad that people have to fight? And what we have challenged them to do is not to fall for that.
For Sunday Express from Kisumu County, I am Wycliffe Okech.
The Senate, in the meantime, is exploring a bold new approach to lawmaking, one that looks beyond the present into Kenya's future. At the heart of the proposal is a push to embed strategic foresight and anticipatory governance into the country's legislative process. This comes in the wake of national events such as the June 2024 youth protests and rising public debt, which lawmakers say could have been averted or prevented with proactive policy planning. Kamche Menza has that.
June 25th, 2024, youth waving placards and the national flag storm Parliament. Police attempt to block them, but to no avail. They had for weeks pleaded with Parliament to drop the controversial amendments to the Finance Act. In the end, dozens of youth lost their lives. Thousands were injured and property of unknown value was destroyed in the ensuing protests. Could the country have avoided the incidences? Narok Senator Ledama Olekina believes so.
A sobering reminder of the consequences of legislations without foresight is the recent nationwide protest of June 25th, 2024. This young-led movement was not a spontaneous outburst, but a culmination of systemic neglect of youth, voices economic pressures, and a deep disconnect between government policies and public sentiments towards the system.
Senator Ledama is leading the newly established bipartisan Senate Future Caucus. The mandate of the caucus is to make Parliament responsive to the dynamism of Kenya's socio-political landscape.
Had the government institutionalized mechanism for meaningful public participation and scenarios planning, we might have detected the signs earlier and acted before frustrations turned into protest. Had we considered long-term thinking in our legislation proposals, perhaps we may have turned our appetite for unsustainable debt that has now pushed our tax Kenyans heavily to meet our obligation.
Already, countries like Finland, Uruguay, and Philippines have embraced foresight in their legislative processes, equipping their parliament with tools to plan for the future and engage citizens in shaping national priorities.
Legislatures that have embraced foresight don't just react to crises, they anticipate them. They don't just manage problems, they create opportunities through their legislative proposal. They can better allocate resources, understand the long-term impact of laws, and ensure that legislation is robust enough to withstand the test of time.
He is now calling for the formal changes to the Senate standing orders to make foresight a core part of lawmaking. The goal, he says, is to ensure Kenya's present decisions do not compromise the prosperity and well-being of future generations. Kamche Menza for Sunday Express.
Father, you will conceive and give birth to a son, and you will call his name Jesus.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has chosen me to bring good news to the poor.
Not my will, however yours.
I understand that many have already hailed him as king.
Is it with a kiss that you betray the Son of Man?
Then take this cup from me. Not my will, however yours. Yours be done.
Are you the king of the Jews?
Welcome back. Did you know that during the initial production of plastics, over 13,000 chemical compounds are utilized? Studies have shown that out of this, more than 3,200 compounds used in common plastics products have been singled out as hazardous. And as our environment reporter Opicho Chimtai reports, toxic chemicals found in plastics, once ingested, are now linked to serious health conditions such as cancers, damage to the immune system, and stunted growth in children.
Back in the 1970s, most items were made of glass, metal, or natural products, producing items such as pots, gourds, and rubber products. Thereafter, that drastically changed with the innovation of plastic for usage in a variety of ways.
Kwanza besheni, sisi wa mama unajua besheni tunatumia sana. Besheni, unajua tunatumia besheni sana.
This plastic revolution was fueled by several factors. How aware are users on the health hazards of plastic products?
Kitu ka plastic yani kama kuna kitu mbaya yenye yani kama wanatengeneza inakuanika inaharibikia watu si watoe tu basi.
Dr. John Wanjohi from the Department of Chemistry at the University of Nairobi says there is a cause for concern.
You know, when we talk about plastics, we are talking about any synthetic material which is made from a polymer. Sometimes you find it does not meet the quality of what is required. So sometimes you must have some additives. So some of us, when we are thinking about this, we think about the kind of damage some of this because those additives are chemicals, the kind of damage these chemicals can do to the body.
Are all plastic materials dangerous?
Polymer itself is very safe. These polymers, it's very hard for them to actually cause any problems. The biggest question is, when this material has been made, these additives have been put, are they going to be released by any means?
And there are others that are also added, some chemical properties that make plastics to resist UV rays. We call UV stabilizers. So that when it is in the sun, it prevents that UV rays in terms of the effect. We also have other types of chemical additives that are mainly flame retardants. So it retards the flame. So like if you know like something flammable, it prevents that flammability.
SEJAD research team led by Griffin Sochieng conducted an evidence-based research on chemical toxins in children's toys and found the chemical compositions to be hazardous.
I see children with things on their mouth, and those things, when it stays there for a long time, do some of these things which are used as additives, are they actually released such that the child swallows?
We expose ourselves to these harmful substances in three ways. In what we eat, with that which we ingest, and you know children always touch things and they put to their mouth. Number two, in the way what we breathe in, or rather you inhale those chemicals. The other way is through the food chain, what we now eat.
In this category of baby play materials is a long list from plastic dolls, inflatable play items such as balls and floaters, teething toys, bath toys, squishy toys, to wearable items like an inflatable Spider-Man suit that studies have flagged as containing materials hazardous to human health.
They can cause various diseases or illnesses like cancer. They are known to disrupt our endocrine system. So let's say you have manifest some property, they can change their hormones. They are known to be very affecting our respiratory and neurological development. And for children, they are known to cause a lot of developmental problems in children's organs that are known to be still developing.
They can also, in the process, some of these chemicals which have been used in making these plastics can end up in the environment.
Researchers at the Center for Environment Justice and Development, SEJAD, warn that there is a link between ingestion of toxic chemicals found in plastics and serious health conditions.
When I put this water in this bottle in a fridge, when I'm taking that water, it will be tasting something extra. And I usually imagine that extra taste is the plastic.
This serves as a wake-up call for health authorities to go beyond the 2017 ban on single-use plastic bags.
The manufacturers are meant to know exactly what they can do such that these additives do not get released when this thing is being used.
Then our policymakers, our country can be able to begin to put controls, because now it's a free market. Without those necessary control, other countries, other jurisdiction can, so to speak, dump these products that may contain also harmful chemicals into our market.
Plastics or not, it is an issue that is still being debated whether to scrap it off entirely or reduce chemicals that is used during its composition. Opicho Chemtai for KBC Channel 1.
Indeed, prompted by that conversation, it's something that really needs the Kenyan government to put its mind to it and see then that Kenyans do not continue to get exposed to the deadly plastics in terms of the compounds really that are used to make these plastics. But of course, let's change gears now and talk about the beauty industry. And we're going to talk about it as being the next frontier for the youth, because we've been talking about economic empowerment for the youth, and so let's explore some of these areas that are potential breeders of economic empowerment. Dr. Joyce Gikunda, the co-founder and director, Linton's Academy, joins us in studio for this conversation. Thank you, Madam. Karibu sana.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Let's begin with you. What inspired you to venture into the beauty industry? Even before we bring in the youth factor, what inspired you to join the beauty industry?
John, beauty is in everyone.
Okay.
It's actually God-given. It is innate. It's built in us, men and women. We may not realize it, but we grow up in beauty. And I went on to the university to study pharmacy. I did pharmacy, completed, worked for the government of Kenya for 10 years. After that, I started a family business, a retail pharmacy, many days back. And while at the pharmacy, that's when I found there was a need for beauty, to have it more organized, to have it more recognized, and to have it actually given the dignity and the place that it deserved in this country. So at the retail pharmacy, I initiated bringing in products because it came naturally to me, having studied pharmacy and having been taught about the skin. I loved the skin, to deal with the skin. Where the doctors deal with the kidney, deal with the lungs, deal with internal organs of the body, I realized, wow, the skin covers us. It's the biggest organ of the body. It needs special attention. So that we don't neglect it, and then later on we are running around looking for dermatologists, looking for specialists to treat our conditions. We can start taking good care of it right from the word go. So at those initial days at the pharmacy, when I realized there was need and people were coming in with a lot of problems, skin problems, I said, wow, there is something to be organized here. And who was there to organize it? Dr. Joyce Gikunda was there to organize it. That's how I usually face problems or challenges that come my way. I embrace them. I'm happy actually to challenge myself, to utilize the education that I've gotten along the way to resolve those issues.
Linton's is a known product, if you were to say so. How long have you done this?
I must admit over 40 years, John.
It's 40 years now.
Yes. It's 40 years. It's 40 years now because Linton's pharmacy started in 1982. We took over as a family business in 1988. And that is when now the beauty started, 1988.
1990.
2007 is when actually we separated now the pharmacy and the beauty. So we embarked, we realized that it is time now. This baby has been incubated, it has grown, it needs to be on its own. In addition, we got advice from our partners, the people who are, the suppliers who are supplying us beauty products. They really wanted now for us to get forth and become just like the first world there, the way you see beauty shops, beauty places in Europe, in US, in South Africa and all that. So they advised us, if you can open standalone beauty shops, then we can partner with you, teach you, educate you, supply your products, and teach you how to do the business.
All right.
And here we are, several years down the line, we have the beauty shops that you see named Linton's Beauty World.
All right.
Yes.
40 years on, having monitored the trends that have evolved over time, having dealt with this for 40 years plus, what are the opportunities for the youth? Because largely they are seen as the consumers of beauty products. But when it comes to economic empowerment, really, what opportunities exist for this dividend that is called the youth?
John, that's a powerful question. The opportunities are many, and that's why Linton's Beauty Academy, hair and beauty, skincare, makeup, artistry, and all that have come up. Because having been in the industry for 40 years, we realized that there was need to train technical skills because Dr. Joyce or any other doctor cannot be the only ones staying there in 30 shops or 40 shops trying to consult the clients. So we have to give skills, we have to train and empower the youth, because we've realized that in addition to just being beauty, being a business, we can actually empower the youth to great potential in entrepreneurship, in sustainable careers, and we are preaching. That is what we are preaching, and we are actually wondering, anytime I hear somebody finished college and they're out there, they haven't gotten a job, whatever field they stand in, I'm always craving to reach out to them to say, please come, we'll give you this skill. The potential is so huge because Linton's Beauty World cannot cover the whole country. And that is why we are focusing actually on training others and giving them extra skill, entrepreneur skill, retail management and all that, so that they can get out there and run their own beauty stores.
And we'll pick it up from there after we've taken this short breather. Let's pay some bills and then come back and pick up from there. In terms of those opportunities you're providing in the wholesale, retail, and probably the other opportunities that exist beyond the wholesale and retail sale of the products. Don't go too far, we're coming back shortly.
Na Loto Moto sasa kwa star 570 hash option ya 4 kuna kashamba juja na nika 50 by 100 worth 1.7 million Kenyan shillings. Na hii si shamba tu, iko kwa prime location few minutes from Juja Town. Stima yako iko ndani, na kama ni development rapid and so promising. Na mambo ya landlord, mwisho wa mwanzo ni hapa. Ukishinda hili shamba tunakuongeza 1 million Kenyan shillings ujijengee nyumba yako kwa shamba yako. Kuinuka na Loto Moto ni kucheza sasa hivi kupitia star 570 hash option ya 4 au register deposit na ucheze sasa hivi kwa www.tushinde.com na ujishindie shamba hili na addition of 1 million Kenyan shillings. Inuka na Loto Moto.
Baba,
kama wapenda, ukiondoe kwangu kikombe hiki. Ukiondoe kwangu kikombe hiki. Hata hivyo mapenzi yako. Baba.
Nani amekupiga?
Baba.
Welcome back. We're back. Dr. Joyce Gikunda is the co-founder and director at Linton's Academy. If you are a student out there interested in beauty or pursuing a career in beauty, there's something you need to listen to, because that is why Dr. Joyce Gikunda is here. So you were talking about training them not only for sales, but also with the skills.
With the skills, and in addition, entrepreneurship, because we really don't want people to think that employment is the end goal of education or skill.
Yes.
We want them to feel free that even if they come and work for Linton's Beauty World, after a few years, you get to a point whereby you want to be a freelancer. You want to be on your own. You want to do what Linton's Beauty World is doing. And for us, we have gotten to that level whereby we encourage you to do it, because Linton's Beauty World cannot cover the whole region. For instance, we're in East Africa, we are in Uganda. We'd love to go to Tanzania, we'd have to go to Ethiopia, we'd have to go to many other places. So without actually empowering the youth, because they are the ones who are going to do this job, we cannot get there. So Linton's Beauty Academy, and especially the bit we handed last year in partnership with the L'Oreal Foundation, that is training on hair. We have the first of its kind hair academy in Westlands here at Kenilworth Building. It is the second in Africa. They have one in South Africa, so they partnered with us, designed it for us, trained the trainers for us, and on top of that, the icing on the cake is that they sponsor like 50 students in a year. We thank God for that.
Scholarships?
Scholarships.
Okay.
Because our youth, actually our first cohort has just left classroom. So we are attaching them now to top-head salons in this country. In the next two months, they finish their internship and we graduate them. That's a cohort of 30 students. The first, that is our first seat. We are excited.
All right.
This is in partnership with L'Oreal Foundation.
Okay.
Yes, and we have a scholarship with KCB Foundation as well. So we are growing, we are making baby steps, we are getting there, and would really like everybody to know that there is potential. There is, for the youth to be empowered in this industry, because the opportunities are huge. There is, you can either work in a shop, you can work in a research industry, you can produce, go to be a manufacturer to produce products for us, beauty products. The best actually we have achieved is to get a beauty consultant, not one. I think we have 3 or 4 trained at the Linton's Beauty Academy working in Dubai.
Okay.
And we have 2 in US. Try to, and John,
is it the academy that links them to these opportunities?
Yes, somehow we get partners who reach out to us from those countries because they have known that we have an academy. They reach out and we give names for interview. And these girls, and one actually is a gentleman in US, they are fantastic in makeup artistry. And they've been out there now for 2-3 years. It makes us feel so happy because you don't know how it is bringing up a child and see them excel out there.
Absolutely.
It's really, we feel good, John.
Generally, the beauty industry for quite some time, except for the new evolutions that is upcoming, where you can see men now venturing into the beauty industry, some of them even having to use some of these products. How can you leverage the youth so that the beauty industry becomes more inclusive, so that it is not seen as a women affair, but more as a necessity?
John, the day I got to beauty is when I realized what evangelism means. It is hard. First and foremost, we are telling people that beauty is not just for school dropouts. It's not just the other course. It's not just the other course you do because you didn't get to law, you didn't get to pharmacy, you didn't get to this and that. It is a course, a career for everyone. Even a school professor can come and have that skill. So we are encouraging, we are evangelizing there. The other thing that we are trying to overcome is for people to think that it's just for women. It's not just a career for women. Actually, being in this industry, I've come to realize that the men are very talented. They are very talented as hairdressers. They are very talented as makeup artists. And you realize that the salons that have men as hairdressers, they are frocking. They really
with population.
They are popular,
yeah. So as we put a close to this one, very quickly, what would your advice be to the youth watching here tonight, who really want to venture into this field of beauty, but then don't know where to start? What would your advice be? And this could be a stylist probably, or a person who just wants to become an influencer through this product.
Content creation, yes. Linton's Beauty Academy is offering skills that get you to be a content creator, that get you to be a top hairstylist, that get you to be a makeup artist that is globally accepted. Anywhere you go, you're interviewed, you definitely pass the test. And why are we at this level? It is because what we have gotten from the brands, Linton's has gotten from the brands that we deal with. Brands like Fenty Beauty, brands like MAC Cosmetics. They come to train us here every other 3 months. We have a trainer from out there, because that will tell you that we have not even reached the level whereby we can entrust it by those global brands that we have the potential, we have the talent to do that training. So we realized from being Linton's Beauty World, the exposure, the advantage that we are getting from the brands, what we tap from them, we should actually make our people benefit. And my advice today to the youth, if you are a youth out there, you are aspiring to be a top in the beauty industry. Even if you didn't know about the beauty industry, I'm telling you about it today. There is potential. You could be a brand manager. You could be you could end these global companies actually in the region here. There is so much career growth in the beauty industry. If you're out there and you're feeling discouraged, you don't have a job, please come. It takes just 4 to 6 months and you are an expert and you quickly get a job. You don't have to sit there. You trained in whatever course, maybe in education, in BSc or something. We need you. We need your talent. Because with whatever you have learned at the university, you can pick the beauty very easily, combine it there, and become the best in the industry. Even Linton's Beauty World needs managers, and we need educated managers. Yes. So that's what I can say.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Joyce Gikunda. She's the co-founder and director at Linton's Academy. And here, she says, the opportunities are immense.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Time for us now to switch gears to sports. But before that, we take another commercial break. Don't go too far.
Town Express! 20, 20, 20, 20, town! Okay, town, 20. Bado haijajaa dere watu wengine 7.
Kwani wazako si ungekulia kwenu? Sasa umetoka wapi? Mimi sitaki mahindi leo.
Wewe unanchia mkate. Si yagushi mkate fubi. Wewe ongea bora usiguze mkate yangu. Sishike hii.
Wazako usikulie huko mbali na mimi. Si mimi nakulamiwa ni wewe.
Donda, gari imejaa na bado unasema watu waingie. Tuambie ndare hapo apunguze wimbo. Niongee na Sami hapa.
Hakuna volume inapunguzwa hapa. Kama unataka kuendesha gari yako, enda dial *570# option ya 3. Watu wanaendesha magari hapa nje na wewe bado unapiga nyenyenye kwa matatu.
Option 3,
unalipa ama unasuka? Comfort yako iko kwa *570# option 3. Master Genio moja safi, reliable, modern safety and security features. Cheza mara kadhaa ujaze entry tickets zako kwenye draw ili uimarishe uwezo wa kushinda. Mshindi tunamtangaza 27th of April na gari tutakufikishia. Unaenda ama wewe?
Mimi sindi na madri nishainuka na *570#.
Inuka na Genio kwa *570# option 3.
Asante.
Well, it's time for sports. Kenya's junior starlets have a massive task at hand. They are to play in the FIFA Under-17 Women Gold Cup for a second successive time. Junior starlets must overturn a 1-0 deficit suffered on Sunday afternoon at the Nyayo National Stadium to progress to the finals to be played later this year in Morocco. Tiwali Fresh scored the lone goal in the 26th minute to hand Cameroon the 1-0 first leg victory and will now need just a draw at home to secure a ticket to the Morocco finals. The return leg will be played next Friday in Cameroon, with the winner of a two-legged tie securing a ticket to Morocco for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup set for 17th of October to 8th of November 2025. The loss restricted junior starlets' unbeaten run to just 5 matches.
Who concedes the first goal in the 5 games, and the goal coming in
front of goal, we didn't utilize our chances. So going into the second leg, we have to work on that.
L'équipe du Kenya et au public aussi.
Good evening, everyone. The coach just appreciated the turnout, the Kenyan support. He says he's never witnessed such massive support for the younger categories, and that obviously was a tough game, as we all could see, but the difference was in the details, and as much as we won, Kenya could have won the game as well.
Run from the goalkeeper. She tries to clear the ball into the path of a very industrious player. It's a good one. Goalkeeper.
Kenya's team to the 2025 All-Africa Junior Golf Team Championship, scheduled for 24th to the 27th of April in Tunisia, was presented with the national flag by Sports Principal Secretary Elijah Mwangi.
The boys' team has Junaid Manji, Nathan Mwangi, Sevi Soni and Justin Ngira, while the girls' team has Belinda Wanjiru, Hazel Kuria and Audrey Gashora.
I wish to congratulate outstanding individuals whose commitment and determination has paid off, and making them part of the formidable national team. The Department of Sports and the Minister of Sports is fully committed to support junior sports as we look forward to strengthening collaborative with the Junior Golf Foundation to grow junior golfing event in the country.
The top 2 teams at the championship will represent Africa at the Toyota Junior Golf World Cup in Japan later this year.
And our goal this year is to improve on what we did last year. Last year we were number 2 for the girls and we were number 4 for the boys. And we are looking for a podium finish better than that, and hopefully to then play in Tokyo, Japan.
Meanwhile, Mombasa Golf Club on Sunday won a maiden Tana Hill Shield tournament that was celebrating its centennial anniversary at the Royal Nairobi Golf Club. Mombasa, who have played at the tournament since 1924, picked their maiden win after a total of 48 points. The win of the main event follows the win by Mombasa Seniors team in the support competition played on Monday and Tuesday.
The 15 points came in through great effort. An absolute record. I don't think we've seen any team shoot 46 points. We have been at it with the team manager for over 20 years, And I think this is an absolute record held by Mombasa Golf Club.
The feeling, of course, is not like any other win. We know some clubs have won 3, 4, 5 times, but no one has won a centenary. So the feeling for a centenary is obviously of a different feel.
2022 champions Muthaiga finished second on 39 points, while VetLab Sports Club and Kenya Railway Golf Club finished joint third on 35 points.
The Kenya National Hockey Under-21 teams will once again go in search of first wins at the Africa Junior Cup 2024 when play resumes tomorrow after today's rest day. The men's team will face hosts Namibia in the third game of the tournament, while the ladies' team will have an uphill task against tournament favourites South Africa. The men have drawn both of their first 2 matches against Zimbabwe and Egypt, while the ladies have lost 1 against Namibia and drawn with Uganda. A total of 6 matches will be played on day 3 of the tournament in Namibia. In the other men's matches, Zambia will face Egypt, while Zimbabwe plays South Africa. In the women's category, Uganda will play Zimbabwe as Namibia takes on Zambia.
You score goals from short corners. Yeah?
You should be able to capitalize on it. What a save there.
A double save on the line.
Tusker FC have moved to the top of the FKF Premier League table after narrowly beating 10-man Nairobi City Stars 1-0 in one of the 4 leagues matches played today. Dennis Onjala scored the only goal of the game in the 4th minute to send Tusker top of the table after Kenya Police slipped to Lindsay Stars by the same margin on Friday. Tusker now leads the way on 51 points, 2 points above Kenya Police, while Gor Mahia are third on 47 points. City Stars remain bottom of the table on just 24 points, 2 behind FC Talanta, who lost 4-2 to Shabana, and Murang'a Seal, who drew to a barren draw with Kariobangi Sharks. Also today, Bidco United defeated Mathare United 2-0.
Naletwa ndani huku kichwa, wamerudi, wanapunguza moja ile, naletwa kona safi, kichwa kimeflikiwa. Austin Odongo anayo bado, Austin Odongo Tariza na mimina ndani huku, nafasi.
Kenya policemen and KDF ladies were crowned champions of a 2025 National Open Championship after collecting most points during the 4-day championship held at Charter Hall. Police won the men's category with a total of 21 points, 5 points ahead of KDF, while Prisons had 11 points in third position. KDF won the ladies category with a total of 7 points, just a point above Siaya, who was second, while Police settled for the bronze position with 3 points. In some of the men bouts, Silas Onyango of Police defeated Victor Komen of Nakuru in the 51 kgs flyweight category, while Ethan Maina of Police defeated Washington Wandera of KDF in the 63.5 kgs light welterweight bout. In the women category, Veronica Mbithe of KDF defeated Faith Nafuna of Nairobi in the 52 kgs flyweight bout.
Opponent wangu hakuwa mrahisi, alikuwa opponent wa Nairobi. Ni opponent mzuri, anatumia nguvu nyingi, na nguvu nyingi niliweza kutembea, which nilimlemea na hiyo.
Nimefurahi sana pia leo nimeshinda hii open, na nasikia tu kwa juu nimecheza na champ mwenye hadi amepanda ndege. Kwanza game ilikuwa rahisi. Hii game ilikuwa a little bit hard. Cheza na huyo msichana, juu hadi nilikuwa nimeogopa. Nilikuwa naambiwa ni wa national team kutoka nje ya Kenya, mpanda ndege. So nimejikaza tu. Game imekuwa poa, though not as expected. Msichana nimecheza naye last year league. Pia ilikuwa stop round 1, same stop round tena hii round 1. So naweza sema wasichana wajitokeze wengi, at least tupate experience sisi wote.
That just well puts a cap on Sunday Express Bulletin. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Of course, continue enjoying the remaining bit of the Easter. Tomorrow is still holiday, but then again on Tuesday we resume the building of the Republic, or what you would call the art and duty of tax paying and working hard. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Baron Abuli was our sign language interpreter. My name is John Jacob Kioria. Good night.
Jet A1, cheza aviator bila data bila credo. Dial *892# for instant takeoff. Pepea bila pressure kucrash au kucash out. Aviator bila data, aviator bila credo. Uko na kabambe, wewe pia ni rubani mnoma. Dial *892#. Jet A1, michezobets.com. Cheza kwa kuwajibika. Kushiriki ni miaka 18 au zaidi. BCLB license number 0000664.
Maisha ni magumu. Kwa sababu hata bibi nilikuwa naye ile magonjwa ilianza akaniacha kaenda. Na hata watoto time nyingine nakutana nao inabidi sasa mimi mwenyewe nijifiche kwa sababu watoto nao huwa nikimbia. Wanasonga na mimi karibu. Lakini sasa tutafika kwa mtoto muache bure. Naona kitu. Nikiwaona mbele inabidi sasa mimi mwenyewe nitoroke.
Usiangaje ukiwa mwanaume na watoto wako huwezi wasaidia.
Hiyo kitu kwa nini zaidi?
Unasikia ngaje?
Na siku moja nilitoka huko